That's a new voice. So, all right. So it's Sunday, May 31st. This is LitecoinLeader here with a few of our subscribers, and we're just going to hear, this is our first subscriber chat. So it's kind of an AMA, ask me anything. I'm an open book like usual when I'm talking and speaking. So any questions that anyone, we have Tom, we have Patty, we have Deborah. You have any questions this evening about anything crypto or life in general? Let's start with crypto.
Yeah, do you think we're going to have another dip?
I think that as many people keep talking about going back to 20 for a retest, I don't believe it's going to happen, because as soon as we get below 30, people are going to start gobbling it up. So I don't think we're going to get below 30. I'm not even sure we're going to get that low. I think that people talked about a Bloody Sunday. They talked about, like, what everybody thinks is usually the opposite happens. So I'm more in the Cliff High camp, where I think we're going to hit 64,000 3 times. We hit it once. We're going to go back to it again soon. We're going to cross over it, and then we're going to come back to it, and then we're going to launch off of 64 as a floor. So we've been at 64. We're down in the 30s. We'll go up to like 70-ish based on the charts that I've looked at. 70 to 80, back down to 64, and then launch up towards 100. And then we'll struggle around 100.
Yeah, I believe we're not going to hit the 20 either.
I just think I know that when people love the 3 touches, like, because we hit 24 years ago, we crossed it in December. They want to retouch it again and test it again. But we don't always test that number third time, because when there's so many people wanting to get in, so much money on the sidelines wanting to get out, or whatever it's in already, into this, I don't see how it's going to get that low.
Well, I got some dry powder just in case.
Well, there's plenty of good coins out there, and I keep mentioning as many as fast as I can turn them. I still have 20 more coins to do. I'm doing the math. Like, that's like 2 or 3 a week. That's going to be busy, especially with me traveling a few times. So we'll see. I have my next coin lined up. I know what I'm going to talk about for subscribers, but I got a few coins. I might just come out and say, Bitcoin, good night. That might be my last coin, but yeah, we've got 15 coins out there already. There's 20 more to go. My board's all filled out. I can't show it to you, but I like what's on the board. I think when I'm done with the board, that might be a question somebody has later on. When I'm done with the board, we're going to review the board. We're going to look at the board, say, like, where do I see things today versus now? Are there any changes I would make? What are the coins that just missed the cut? And then we might play the game again in 2022. I don't know yet, but I think a lot of people like the format. I mean, what do you guys think about Altcoin?
It's a great format, and especially for a newbie, it does kind of help me to compartmentalize where, okay, these are platforms, or, you know, what they are. So it's helping me.
Good.
It's a good education.
You got me into Zill.
There you go. All right. It's on sale again. What's going on there? I love Zill. I think Patty and I were talking about that the other day. I think that she's concerned about the October deadline, that people might be jumping out in October with GZIL coming out. So, and the staking for GZIL wrapping up. I could see that, but you're still getting 15%. There might be a dip then, but if people are selling GZIL, then I'm buying, because there's only going to be probably 500,000 of them. So that's a limited supply. So
yeah, I dipped again and got a little bit more, but the damn Atomic wallet won't let me stake it. They're having some problems. I guess I got to wait till the next update before I can stake those ones. It's kind of pissing me off.
Try downloading the Moonlit wallet.
Yeah, do that. I'm tired of Atomic too.
Atomic is that's why it's my third wallet. It's not my top wallet. It is glitchy. So I've had to redo it a few times. I've used it. I like Moonlit more, but it's harder to explain Moonlit to newer people. I thought Atomic was an easier thing for me to explain Zill. And by the way, Bo Pony is still sharing that video, which I'm kind of jazzed at. That's pretty cool. So, like, well, I forget who. Like, Lena shared that to him, and he's like, he puts out a newsletter, and I know people that have his newsletter, and they're saying it's still there. Like, that's cool.
Cool. So is Zill a long-term hold for you, Jeff?
Yes, it's one of my top 5. I think that until Ethereum proves that 2.0 can happen, I still believe, because the best way, my elevator speech for Zill is that it's everything Ethereum 2.0 was supposed to be. It still can't be yet. Like, and there was just an article that came out on NASDAQ that said Zill's a top coin to hold because it already has the sharding, which is what Ethereum 2.0 is supposed to have. And they keep promising, but there's a lot of people that are concerned about Ethereum 2.0, that it may not happen. They've been waiting for almost a year for 2.0 for Ethereum. And there's a lot of people that the development team is concerned. There's a lot of people that are concerned about what are the miners going to do. I would not be surprised if there's a fork, because like if I'm an Ethereum miner and I have all this Ethereum mining equipment, what do I do with it when they start to go to proof of stake? That's a big concern for a lot of miners. So they may choose to, if all the miners get together, they may say, forget this 2.0 stuff. That's up to new entirely. We're sticking with the old Ethereum. And actually, I think that would actually be a blessing in disguise. That may reduce the traffic issues for Ethereum. And there's like, if one sticks one sticks the other, maybe one becomes the DeFi platform and one becomes the new coin. Like maybe ERC20 goes to this chain and NFTs go to that chain and DeFi goes to that chain as well. Maybe split the traffic. I'm not certain, but I see a lot of uncertainty still with Ethereum 2.0. That's why all the competitors, you have Cardano, you have Polkadot, you have Atom, you have Zill, and then you've got the support networks like Matic, which is trying to help them out, and Loopring, but there's a lot of issues. The only reason Ethereum is doing so well right now is because everyone must use it, not because they want to, they must use it, because that's where DeFi lives, that's where NFTs mostly live.
Well, little birdie told me you got a little bit of DGB. Is that true? And how do you like Digibyte?
I've been in and out of Digibyte several times, Tom. And actually remember a conversation we had where like, wake me up when it gets over 4 cents. And I didn't get in then, but that's exactly when I should have got in. And I kind of kicked myself for not doing it because I was in other things like Matic at the time. But I've had a lot of Digibyte before. I don't have as much as I did then, but I have it now, and I'm happy with it. I think that long term, I think it's a good coin. As you'll find out as being a subscriber, it is one of the subscriber coin videos I've already done. So you'll see that one soon. And that'll be available to you. And
that was one of my favorite coins. I got in at under 003, a ton.
Yeah. Now, the next thing I got to convince you is having the two split bags, the HODL bag and the trade bag. Not be afraid to sell some of that trade bag when Digibyte spikes, because Digibyte has a track record of spiking, then coming back down. So I'd like on my trade bag to sell that spike.
I have it. I have a 350K a trade bag.
All right. I never like anyone sharing their numbers, but okay. But yeah, I mean, trade it. I mean, like the point of having a trade bag versus a HODL bag, the HODL bag you never touch. The trade bag, if things go up, like I had a trade bag and a HODL bag for Theta. I don't have a trade bag anymore because when Theta got to 14, 15, it was all gone.
Yeah.
So
nice. You got close to the top then. That's cool.
I got somewhere in the 12 to 15 range. I was happy with it because the first time I sold was under $1 and I wasn't happy about that. But I held out longer for the other stuff. So you can't win them all, but yeah, profit's profit. I got into Theta like in 2018, so I can't be disappointed with that coin at all.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I just wish I think Zilliqa long term, back to the original question, I think Zilliqa could be another Theta type. I think it could be.
Wow.
It could. I don't think it. I'm not saying $10, but I'm saying $1 by end of the year would not surprise me. I think I told Tom $1 by Halloween is what I think will happen for Zilliqa.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Wow.
I think Zilliqa definitely can get there. I mean, we saw what Matic did. Matic just went ape. But there's lots of coins that are under $1 that I'm looking at that could just go up 10 times. Oh, we got a new attendee.
Yep, I wish I would have set up a trading bag a long time ago instead of just holding. I could have, like you said, I wish I would have sold 400K at 17 cents when Digibyte hit 17.
Yeah, hindsight's 2020. I wish I've done several times like that, but I did it for Atomic or Atom. I do that all the time. Atom, I did that. So Atom, I still have like my original HODL bag, but I bought a bunch in a trade bag because I knew it was going to go from like 7 or 8 up to 15. Like that, every chart I did said where it's going to go, and then it went even beyond that. So that allowed me to buy a lot of the other coins on my board. So I still have a couple to collect, but I had almost all of them. Hey, I know that guy. Hello.
I'm sorry I'm late, but I have to pop in. And I told my wife, I was like, I'm going to come and tell you one thing. If I'm in the middle of taking care of a baby, but I have to tell you. LitecoinLeader, thank you for Matic. That's
You're
all.
welcome, sir. You're welcome.
Yeah. I mean, and I wish Pundi cashed out when it really said it was like, what, $3 fake. But Joanne and I seem to try to capitalize on it. But because of you, man, like, I bought my family a vacation to Cancun. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Nice.
Welcome.
Hey,
Hope to see you.
Patrick, it's Deborah.
Hey, DH, how are you?
How are you? How's that beautiful little baby?
He's killing me.
Yeah. Aw.
Enjoy the fatherhood.
Yeah,
My
he
kids
is-
right now. Say hi, kids. This is my baby daughter.
It's the Divvy family. Oh,
Hello.
they're
Yeah.
so sweet. So
My friend.
cute.
Patrick, we'll talk soon. I hope to be out there at some point next month.
Yeah, bro. I'm looking forward to it. I told my wife, I said, I don't care what you feel like. You're supposed to get pain meds. Bring your mom. Take a few of those. Let me hang out with Jeff for a few days. She said, okay.
Sounds good.
But I'm going to stay on mute and listen to you guys, but I got friends and family over, but I do want to hear what you have to say because it's gold. So I'm going to mute myself.
Sure, man.
Bye, guys.
Happy Memorial Day. Have a good one.
Bye, Patrick.
Later,
Yeah, you too, guys. Bye, Deborah.
Good to see you. Talk to you soon.
All right. Was not expecting that to be him.
Yeah.
July,
Okay.
baby.
So, yeah.
So Jeff, could you talk maybe on a broader FUD, F-U-D? And there's also been on the Telegram group chats over the weekend that maybe some possible reset happening this week with the, with the banking system. Is that just more FUD or is there something to that?
I'm taking a note here because I'm looking for other ideas for my videos, and I think FUD could be one that I need to start stamping
Yeah.
on. Okay. So much FUD out there because more and more, first off, we need adoption to grow. We need new people to join so that it grows. But the problem with new people joining is that they don't know what to believe. So it's like when I was traveling to Sacramento and back, and I talked to everybody, and I some people that were new, some people, and the newer the person, they would mention Elon Musk, they mentioned Doge, they just things that they heard just because they're out there and they just pick up on these stories. And I think I saw a picture today of a screenshot from CNBC, and Doge is one of the 5 coins that was on the screen. It was like Ethereum, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, and Doge. I'm like, okay, one of these doesn't belong. But that's what happens is that there's so much fear, uncertainty, and doubt that they cast out there, which is part of the market manipulation. Because everybody wants the Bitcoin. There's only so much. So to drive the price down, they put out this fear, uncertainty, and doubt, but make people. There's all different kinds of ways they shake it out. First, they drive the price down because they sell, they trigger. Sometimes they can see what prices will trigger cascading sells because of stop limits or margin calls. So they'll force it down that way. They will also do what I call the delay, which is like people get impatient. Like right now, Bitcoin was kind of like flatlining at 35 to 40, just kind of, just a week, just kind of stuck there. People get bored with it, and people are like, I wish I was in a coin that's moving. Well, that's the worst things you could do is you move out of that, and then all of a sudden something takes off. So I saw it with Litecoin last summer. I mean, it happens with all the coins at some point. Digibyte happens a lot. It goes, Theta was very, very consistent for like a month, and then it spikes. So getting a good project, take a look at the chart, relook at the chart again, decide how long you want to be in it, and then wait for that, inevitable pop, and then decide, don't let the market dictate to you. Have a plan to react to the market, whatever the price does. But as far as the fear, uncertainty, and doubt, there's always going to be articles, and there's always going to be YouTubers out there trying to say it's going to 100,000 or it's going to 10,000, and it's clickbait. They're trying. I don't do those videos. If I say, you'll hear me very cautiously about predicting prices because the chart is telling me this. That doesn't mean I said Matic's going to $2. I never said that. I said Matic looks like it's going to go to $1.50 based on what I'm reading. So I don't do those types of videos because I think those are wrong. I think I think that Bitcoin's going to $1 million at some point? Yes. Can I predict when? No. but I think we got to get through 100,000 first. We got to get through 200, 250, 300, and so on. And that's like, it's not a straight line up. It's like there's bumps along the way. And part of that is that they put out these videos which cause fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And the YouTubers have to have people. They have to have people. A lot of them put out videos every day, so they want to get those engagement every day. So they put out these sensational topics to get it going, and then you put sensational articles. I've seen some articles which are just completely trash, and they're just awful. Even in like mainstream media, they're terribly written. Like they don't know anything about it, but they just get in there and they throw all this fear, uncertainty, and doubt. That I hear the same stories over and over again often too. I know Tom's seen them. We're getting like, you know, between like, how do I get Theta? How do I get ZIL? How do I stake ZIL? All those questions. It's like, what about the Three Gorges Dam? I hear that every week. And it's like, okay, do we have to talk about this again? All right. Or what about there's an EMP, or what happens when there's a reset in the, or you know, XRP dead? The Three Gorges Dam is a complete farce, because every 2 weeks they reset how difficult it is to make Bitcoin. And even if the Three Gorges, even if China was no longer even on the map tomorrow, there's enough Bitcoin miners throughout the rest of the world to make up the difference. Just that it would be easier for them to make Bitcoin for the next 2 weeks until they reset the difficulty. So right now the difficulty is set based on everybody being there. They do a snapshot, and every 2 weeks they recalculate it. That's how Bitcoin used to do it. Digibyte actually does it on a much more dynamic scale, so you don't have that 2 week lead time. It uses the Bitcoin algorithm, uses the Litecoin algorithm, and 3 others to try to map it all out. So Three Gorges Dam thing is complete FUD. The energy thing about Bitcoin is complete FUD. There's more energy used in the current banking system than there is in the actual Bitcoin system. There's more energy probably used in Las Vegas than there is in the Bitcoin system. In fact, Bitcoin is better for energy than anything else. But I mean, there's like, if people were willing to listen to reason and not just react like the headline that they see, or the snippet they see on either a clip from Saturday Night Live or the news or a mass media article, it just becomes like it's marketing. Every time the marketing rule was like, you would show somebody something 5 times and it would stick. So the more you put in people's minds, like, oh, Three Gorges Dam, Three Gorges Dam, and it starts to click and stick in their mind. It's not necessarily true. It's one of those things that are just like, it's a falsehood that just manifests itself over time, just because people just hear it so often.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, there are.
And on the margin, they see the margin. They know where to drop to. They see where all the margins are, and people, you know, that's the kiss of death. If you buy on margin, I feel sorry for the people. I bet you that last pullback wiped out a lot of people.
Yeah, I think Patty, you probably watched the video from George, right? Because I know you watched George. He had a good video on that showed how much it dipped, and how the last dip, how much was that a margin call, and it was significant because they were triggering. I think there were a lot of lines like 40,000 or 45,000. They triggered those margin calls, which caused it to cascade downward, and that's where it got into the 30s and settled out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's wick down to 28, didn't it?
Yeah, I think, yeah. So and I went to California. I didn't bring any of my wallets. I'm like, whatever happens, happens. And of course, all hell breaks loose. The 2 days I'm traveling, like, it went down 50%. And I'm like on the plane, like, what are you people doing? What's going on?
Jeff, it did the same thing in April when we went to.
What? It's like they know when I'm like, they check my flight schedule. I don't know, like, I gotta stop flying.
You're a busy man.
Yeah, my travel is increasing a lot. I'm probably going to be out west again. Ben wants me to come out in June. Got like a Texas in July and October. I'm going out Utah to speak in October. I got to do the Myrtle Beach thing in August and September. Probably going to do a meetup there. And then there's rumor that there's another meetup somewhere in the Atlanta area with Papa Joe in the August-September timeframe. So hope September, because Atlanta in August is usually not a good idea, but we'll see.
Nice. Are you doing the rafting in July?
Is that like the lazy inner tube thing?
Yeah, Monday.
Yeah, I'll probably do it. Yeah.
Nice. My damn daughter, she's leaving Sunday, so she won't be able to do it. I was kind of bummed, but oh well.
She's leaving Sunday. What's wrong with her?
She's got to work. She's got that nanny job Monday, Tuesday.
Ah, okay.
So she told
Priorities.
me, yeah, I got to be back to work. I got to work Monday. So I said, okay.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm
I
probably
think-
I'm gonna be
sorry.
out there. I don't know how early I'm coming out either. I have to look at that too. And,
Are you doing that Friday speaking thing with Lori or no?
I am not scheduled for it, even though Ben thinks I'm doing it. I'm sure that'll be a topic in St. Louis.
No, you're not shown on the page yet, I don't think.
Oh, good, because I didn't know there was a page for it. So
Yeah, but Patrick's on there. Divvy Daddy's on there.
Mm-hmm.
yes, I think he's going to talk for a little bit. I think Bamboo Ben might get some of his time, but well, we have to see how that all shaking out. It's kind of it's different. My chair's that's interesting. It looks like I'm floating because my chair.
So Jeff, is there, I know we've talked about Veritasium before. Is there, what do you think, because I've been doing research on obtaining it, and now Uniswap, you can't get Veritasium anymore through Uniswap.
Can't.
So do you think, does that mean, read between the lines, something's cooking, or?
When did that happen? Because I was unaware of that.
This is Divvy Daddy. I'd like to let you know that the reason why it's occurring is at 5 a.m. every morning. I buy all of it. So if you want to get it before 5 a.m. Also from LitecoinLeader. I told you I'm still here. Thank you, Jeff.
Actually, Patrick and I, we had this conversation, and we were looking, and the exchanges, Uniswap, you can't get Veritasium anymore. So I didn't know if that was maybe indicative of a larger, maybe something going on with Veritasium.
Well, maybe I should be putting that at
No,
coin
it's
up soon,
indicative
too.
that Jeff told me you can't get it. So that's why I try so hard to buy it.
It's difficult.
Bitcoin
a small-
said there was a light supply of Veritasium. So anybody going in to buy a little bit of Veritasium will spike the price.
There's only 2 million coins available for the public.
Yeah.
But does
So-
that also mean that maybe, I think actually, Jeff, you made the joke on one of Bitcoin Ben's chats. It was like, hi, this is New York Stock Exchange. Hi, Reggie. You remember us? Like, hello.
Yes.
Yes. I'm just
that
wondering
would not
if
surprise me at all.
something's brewing.
I hope so. I really hope so, because that would stop. Because somebody asked me, like the 90% down. How could a 90% down event happen for Bitcoin or the market? It could have to be something devastating that could happen in the external markets beyond crypto, where if the stock exchange just died, or the commodities market just fell apart, or the bond market fell, the banking system fell apart. Something like that could cause a dip, a large dip in crypto, but it would be a dip. I don't think it would last very long, because everybody, the smart money would always say, well, if that's dead, Bitcoin's it. We got to go to Bitcoin. And that's what they'd snap it up. So I can imagine how, if Bitcoin ever got below 20,000, how it would last very long, because people would be buying like crazy.
Oh, hand over fist.
Yeah. I don't see anybody who's selling at 20,000. Nobody. I don't see that. So that's paper hands, I think is what they call them. So, but Veritasium, back to that question. I did not know that was so hard. It's becoming unattainium Veritasium. But
well, maybe double check me. But actually, I was on a call. Divvy Daddy and I, we were kind of trying to walk through. And
Jeff, it was the day I told you talked about it. We were like, it's not there, and you told me it's not there. There's no more. And I told Deborah that day, I was like, there's none. I tried to buy more. I've been working hard every morning to buy it. It's just not there, bro. Just like you said.
I'm not selling mine.
I got a whole 2 from Bix.
Well, very interesting.
Well, okay. So based on my information, Veritasium has had about 230 coins moved in the last 24 hours on Uniswap. But the other exchange is where I also bought it from, which is called Mercatox. If you have CoinGecko app, you know about where to look this up. But Mercatox is the last time I bought it. Well, the second to the last time I bought Veritasium was Mercatox. And Mercatox they sold about 1.5 times, a little bit more than what Uniswap had. Not a lot, but you can exchange Ethereum or Bitcoin for Veritasium. It is a very illiquid. I remember buying that, and it took forever to get the trade through.
Okay.
But I would say just buy it at market if it's even available.
Okay.
They're $20 each on that exchange. I think it's very illiquid. 160 moved on the Ethereum, and about 100 moved on the Bitcoin very pair on Mercatech. So yeah, it's very hard to get because exchanges don't want to put it out there, and there's not much out of it out there. Most people that are having it are hoarding it because we think that there's only 2 million, so it's like 1/10 the size of Bitcoin that's available to the public. So, and if you like, if you like Divvy Daddy, he's got like a couple hundred of them, and he's got them all. So.
Every morning at 5 a.m.
Every morning.
I'm changing the time on you guys. I'm gonna go at midnight now.
Well, you got that baby to wake you up every 3 hours, so they can.
I am up every hour. There's no 3-hour break. I don't know who lied to you, bro. When you have a baby, all day long, every day, no sleep.
I had sleep. I trained my kids to sleep, so you got to train my kids pretty good.
How did you do that?
Let them cry a little. Let them cry a little.
She won't let me.
Tough love, brother. Tough love.
That's why I buy Very. It's the one thing I can do successfully.
It's you or them,
me.
and you outnumber. You're bigger than he is. Come on. No, yeah. The first couple months is tough, and then after that,
Yep, it'll get easier.
Yeah,
they'll be more problematic in different ways.
You're all liars. I've had 2 other ones. You liars. My daughter's going through that stage where she needs bras. It's terrible. They're all liars. It gets worse.
It gets better when they're
teenagers.
30. I don't know.
See?
I don't know
now
yet.
You're being honest. There we go. Thank you, sir. Now I trust you again. Stick to crypto, bro. We don't know kids. We don't know women. Stick to crypto.
Oh, don't stop. No, we're not going there this call. All right.
Thank you.
So what else do we want to talk? We talked about FUD. We talked about that. What do you want to see for topics on video? That's one other thing that we can throw out there. And or anyone else have something else? Patty, you got something?
I wanted to ask about this. You know, I'm a cheap coin addict. I like the penny coins. I like the coins that are under $10. Is this wrong?
It can be. The exhibit A would be YFI, which was Yearn.finance, which came onto the scene.
Oh, that's like 30 grand or whatever.
Oh,
yeah, that's a finance.
It costs more than Bitcoin. It's crazy. But,
yeah.
But that just exploded. So it's not always the price, but I understand the appeal. But I think there's sweet spots for coins, and I think there's psychological numbers. I think 10 cents, 50 cents, and $1 are psychological numbers, and $10 too. But I think when a coin, like Cardano is my perfect example for the last year. I wasn't in Cardano for a while. I watched the project. I knew about Charles Hoskinson and his team. I thought they were a bit egotistical, which there's exhibits all over from what they do. But when the coin started to turn, like what I call bend the knee upwards, and started to turn like from, it was like plugging along 20 cents, and all of a sudden it got to that 50-cent mark. That's when I took notice and I just jumped in, because when it starts to turn, it often turns quickly. So I look for that quick turn, because I don't want to be in a coin for 6 months where it's only at 20 cents. No offense to coins like Digibyte, but that's what kind of thing. Occam's the Occam raises the Occam release. But the smart contracts aren't out yet, so everybody's got the map of what Cardano's going to do. But as soon as Cardano went from 50 cents, it was like a rocket ship to $1, and it went up to $1.50, bounced down to around $1-ish, and now it's playing there again. It's going to stick around there again for a little while until smart contracts really come out. But the ecosystem's defined, and everybody's talking about Cardano. Everybody's like looking at it as a big deal going forward. But I want to see a coin that goes, gets close to that 50-cent line with positive momentum, because I think that ride from 50 cents to $1 can be very quick for certain coins, kind of like what Matic did, and also what I think what Zilliqa could do when it turns that coin, when it gets above that 30-cent mark. My coin in that marketplace right now, Theta Fuel. I think Theta Fuel is at 30 cents right now, 25, 30 cents. I think that could, VeChain's a little lower. What else is in a quarter range? 25 to 50 cents. I think Theta Fuel is probably my number one. There was something else in the quarter that was just
Phantasma,
Yeah, yeah.
Reef,
I like Reef. I like Reef.
RSR.
I like RSR. I know that one.
Those are all things you've said, so that's why I have them.
I haven't publicly said RSR Reef yet. So thanks for releasing that one. Oh,
Grayson,
Sorry.
shut up.
Any more
Forgive me.
releases, Divvy
I'm
Daddy?
tired. I'm
That
tired,
Chili's
remember?
is a quarter, Jeff. That
Chili's was
is
one.
a
That's
quarter.
right. That we talked about it earlier or yesterday. That was a coin that's right there. So
Loop ring is 36 cents. You've talked about that.
yeah, that's in that spot too. That could pop up quickly. So I mean, those are the things you watch for. And Ren's at 55. It's not on my. That's one I'm keeping an eye on. There's other coins I'm going to talk about after the game's over that you could easily have more than 30. You could easily have more than 30. But at that it becomes unwieldy, and then you're like, you have to make a case like, why would I put a coin X on, and what coin would I take off, and why?
I just looked at your videos to make sure it was released. Hot token.
Hot token. What's that? That's 2.5 cents, isn't it?
No,
No.
bro. A lot less today.
It's under a penny.
It's under a penny. So okay, so that's under a penny. But so that one, I think that's one
8922.
I would put that in the buy category.
Hey, Jeff, have you ever heard of Zap? Zap is supposed to be a protocol being used a lot by Divi blockchain, but I don't know much about it. I bought it when it was like 20 cents, and it went down to garbage, and I've sold it to like 15, lost money, and I don't know. Have you seen any
You bought
potential
what I
for Zap?
sold.
Oh,
It's gonna
okay.
be wrap Divvy, I think.
That's what it does. Yeah, we talked about that like about a year ago, and probably before I even knew you, Patrick. But Zap is the coin I use to buy my silver note. That was like I turned that into a silver note because I bought Zap at like a penny or two, and it 10x'd, and I flipped it into a divvy and
20x is when I bought it.
Yeah, yeah. But Zap is a spike and then retreat kind of coin, and it'll just struggle. It'll spike and then it'll just do like a flag and just start trailing down, and all of a sudden out of nowhere it'll spike again. And that usually coincides with something major they did, either a partnership or improvement. Excuse me, but yes, Zap is. I'm going to be digging into that coin a little bit more soon, and
Yes.
but that one I learned about through Divi, and they wrap. So they wrap Divi, and what they do, a wrapping of a coin allows it to be on the Ethereum blockchain. So that's what a wrap. So you can wrap Litecoin, which I'm not sure anyone's done. You can wrap Bitcoin, and you put them on the Ethereum blockchain to put them in the DeFi space. So right now, Divi, like I know there was, is Divi still happening? Let me see if Patrick's paying.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So I don't know
It's
the structure.
called- Yeah, the stake Divi.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that's structured, but I know there's a partnership, I believe, between Divi and Zap, where Zap is intending to wrap Divi. I think Zap also is doing some Oracle work, similar to what Link does, but Zap's got a few different hands in some DeFi baskets. I would put Zap in the DeFi category because a lot of what they do is towards the DeFi sector. If I was going to pick one sector to just blow up in the next 3 years, it would be DeFi, because decentralized finance is going to be that's going to be the catalyst. That's going to be the major thing, because as all these financial areas kind of trail off, and in the normal sector, they're going to start seeing like you can make 10%, 20%, 30%, and very easily in the DeFi space or more, and that's going to be where a lot of the money. There's so much money in the financial sector that's going to have like, where do we put this? Issues in the next couple of years. They're going to move into the DeFi space, not just because of the returns, but also the issues and problems in the current financial sector.
Mm-hmm.
What
So
do you
that's what-
think of Shiba, Jeff?
I don't believe in any animal-based coins, so I think I saw one today. It was a top 10 coin. Was it Poodle? I think it was a Poodle coin. I'm like, yeah, thank you, Patty. Perfect time. That's a dog for sure. but it was in one of the top 10 coins that I think Dave talked about, and it was on the list. Somebody asked me, like,
Hey,
I think it was
Abigail,
in
I heard of
Jim
another dog coin. You can get Poodle, baby.
Poodle. Yeah. So
Oh, sorry. I didn't know.
so when I think it was somebody asked on Jim Flanagan's channel, like, what to expect the next week. And I basically said, like, Bitcoin and Ethereum will go up and down. People will try to predict why it happened, and someone will say, "I told you so." And there'll be a bunch of shit coins that come out this week, mostly named for animals or food. And especially this week, because Shitcoin 2021 is a conference happening next weekend, the same weekend as Bitcoin 2021. Both in Miami. The Miami ticket, I think, is $3,500, whereas I think the Shitcoin 2021 is like $10. So there's going to be a lot of things going on. I think I just talked about NFTs. That's still going to be hot for a while. I think the practical nature of NFTs is what's really going to drive things. There's going to be a lot of things in NFT that be like, oh yeah, that should be an NFT. That makes perfect sense. Like a real estate deed, a concert ticket. What else? Something like an autograph. I would not be surprised to see autographs. So I just did the Theta video, and the CAA, what they did with all the celebrities, Brad Pitt, all hundreds of them, Jennifer Aniston. Imagine those people just like a signed autograph picture as an NFT. People will buy that. If they're buying like random highlights from the NBA for whatever that's called, NBA shots or NBA hoops, or they're making I think it was $770 million the NBA has made from those NFTs, which is ridiculous. But
Wow.
the money that's going to be made in NFTs is going to be high, and it's also going to be intellectual property. I mentioned that I did the video on XLM, the XLM video, and Tom hasn't seen it yet, but the XLM video for subscribers, they partnered with IBM, and IBM has the number one. They've been number one for the last couple of years in patents. So look for patents and IP to become NFTs, and then license that way to other companies. Similar to what the patents will be done for Theta and Theta Fuel. They'll put the NFTs. They're already doing NFTs. I think people are gonna have to learn NFTs. I have to learn NFTs. That's gonna be a big sector. That and DeFi are gonna drive a lot of things, and projects that are in both those spaces, like Divi, Zap, Theta, they're gonna do well.
For NFT, somebody turned me onto this thing called NFT art. And I bought a little of it. It was like, a millionth of a cent or something. But anyways, what other NFT, what would you buy in the NFT space?
Right now it's mostly art or collectibles.
No, but I mean, give me a token name, a coin to invest in. That's NFT.
You can buy my Funko Pop. I made a Funko Pop NFT.
Oh, is there one listed on CoinGecko?
I'm leaving now. See you guys later. Have a great day, guys.
On that note, Theta has exposure to NFTs. Matic has exposure to NFTs.
Oh, I have Matic. Matic is up to $1.90 right now. I don't know if you guys knew that. I was just looking at it. Matic is like my new favorite coin. I like that better than Zill even.
I love them both. They're all my children. I love them all. XLM is NFT. I think Zill has NFTs.
Oh, XLM is? That's another one of my favorites. XLM is, yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess, Jeff, the question I was...
Soul. Phantasma.
I don't like that. I lost money on that thing. And that was so hard to get or move. Or that was another one like Very. That was like a nightmare to get. And it had all these...
I didn't say it's going to make you money overnight.
There were all these things that were the same name. That's what I learned about the contract, that you had to...
There's 2 souls, there's 2 ones, there's 2 hots.
Yep.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. But listen, so the question I'm trying to ask, and I don't know if I can get it out, but here's the thing. Everybody talks about, 10x and all that, and 100x. Well, that's for your cheap coins. And I guess that's what I'm like excited about. If I buy something that's 10 cents, it's more likely to go 10x than
That's
something
a bad way to look at it. Look at Shiba Inu as a perfect example. Shiba Inu is like below a penny. It's like dirt. It's just, but there's 50 gazillion quadrillion coins that you have to look at the market cap. You have to look and see it. So
Okay.
what you were looking for is like the bottom of page 1 to page 2. Like look at the coins that are below $1 billion market cap that can get and do something similar. So the coins that Ivan on Tech talks about, the coins that Lark talks about, Lark Davis, the coins that are out there in different YouTube spots, or just look at the coins that are just below, like in the top 300, but not the top 100. And if you understand, and then pick like 10 of them and just like, what do they do? Like, oh, that sounds interesting. What is that about? Dig into that. Like, when I started Theta, I think it was like number 1200. But when we dug it, so the Theta, I told the story tonight. Yes, intuitive psychics, whatever. They found Theta, a remote viewer brought Theta up. It doesn't mean I love the coin, just like it's got getting attention. All right, I'll go look at it. It's worth 30 minutes to go look and say like, oh, that's a good project. Why didn't I ever hear about it before? Because it wasn't out there, but now we know about it. I'm like, yeah, why not? I'll throw it in there, because at that time it was like a couple pennies. So you could buy thousands of coins, and you're like, if this ever happened, then you hear like, if you get to 10,000, like, okay, well, now I got to get to 10,000, but then it's the Guardian node. But aside from that, you have to learn about these projects and find a little bit off the beaten path, and that's where I'm going to start going after we get done with Altcoinopoly in the summer. In the fall, I'm going to start looking at other coins, other projects, find that next PundiX, find that next ZIL. When I got into ZIL and RSR, they were both below a penny. And that was because I was digging, and and the people that I watch on a regular basis, and people when people get in their certain routines. I had a routine last year where I was working out every morning, or most mornings, 30, 45 minutes. And I was listening to Lark and Crazy, and they've like 7 or 8 different videos, Altcoin Daily. I would listen to 7 or 8 videos each morning, and I started hearing similar coins mentioned over and over again. I'm like, okay, well, this is worth noting. Let me dig into this. Why do they keep mentioning this coin? That's where you start finding, and you don't need to find 100 coins. If I put out, this is what I've proven to myself. If I put out 1 coin a week, that's 50 a year, basically. I think I'm pretty confident I could find 50 coins a year to talk about. I mean, I've already got 35 on the board, and I'm just like holding them back, trying not to release them all just yet. And then when I'm done, I'm going to be like, okay, let's put this one away. Maybe I won't like Loom at that point, or maybe, Zap, which we talked about, doesn't show up on the board. And maybe like when I talk about 10 other coins, I'm like, maybe they deserve a spot on the board now. Maybe something happens with, I don't know, Cardano or Ethereum. And Ethereum 2.0 isn't worth a spot anymore. Throw it off the board. Put something else there. And then the game continues. And then you start rebalancing, looking at it. And that's when you start talking about portfolio management. And that's when we get into the deeper conversations of subscribers. And that's where I'm like, that's like, okay, that's when we need to have a one-on-one conversation about where are you at? Where do you want to be? What kind of balance? And like when we talk about my 3 different tiers and my home run swings, and how I'm looking for 10X's with certain coins and so on, and how I look at things. It's just, and some coins, like it's an evolution. Like I learned through the Theta thing where you have to have 2 bags. And the same with ZIL, because when I staked all of my ZIL, I was worried about price going up. Like I can't stake it all because I can't take advantage of a price swing. So that's why I don't stake it all. I stake 2/3 of it.
Divvy is a perfect coin for both. Because I told you I sold some of my Divvy. You can move you can dismantle your master node in like 5 minutes and send it over to BitTrue and start it. You could sell your Divvy in 1 day, no problem.
Right.
Yeah, or you can leave it in your master node and earn your 20% rewards. I mean, Divvy is good. You don't need 2 bags for Divvy. Just do your master node. You could sell them in 1 day.
Right. So that's the difference. That's the difference between the master node versus staking, because staking is a time commitment versus the master node. You can dismantle it and you're liquid again. So that's the difference. That Theta, I think it's 60 hours. And actually there are people that are tracking how much, because when Theta got to 14 or 15, there were a lot of people pulling them out of staking. And you could see that coming, like there's a sell coming. So that's where I was like, okay, there's the top, time to get out and sell. So that's where a lot of people said, between 10 and 15. I remember I talked to one person, she's like, I'm waiting until it gets back to 15. I'm like, you're getting greedy. So, but I mean, these are things you learn over time. You can't, there's 9,000 coins. You could be in 1 million projects, but then that's when you spread too thin. It's like, it won't pay off, because if you're in more than 30 coins, how are you going to get that 10X to be substantial? If you're 1% in 100 coins, even if one of them goes up 10%, now you've gone from your whole portfolio of 100% to 110. That's nice, but If you were a little bit more consolidated down to 20 coins, now that 10% would be like a 50% move to your whole portfolio. So things you got to like weigh against. It's a delicate balance. That's why that's another reason I like platforms, because platforms like a Polkadot gives me exposure. Like I know, for example, Atom, which I haven't recovered. I've already talked about it once, but Atom has 250 coins on the platform. So if any of those becomes a killer app, I have exposure to it. But I don't have to buy 250 coins for it. I bought one. So with one, I have exposure to 250. So that's why I like platforms, because Cardano, XLM, Zill, Ethereum, Neo, they were platforms where people, Zill, you have one coin that represents hundreds of coins. So if something if there's another CryptoKitties event like what Ethereum did, and Ethereum explodes, then you reap the benefit of it, and you're mitigating your risk by saying, I'd rather than owning 100 different coins and hoping one of them pops, which is how some people do it. I'd rather own one coin that represents 100 of them and just get less of a pop, but the pop will happen because one of those 100, maybe a couple of them is going to pop. I can keep track of one coin. I can't keep track of 100.
I got to run. Good night, guys.
See you, Tom. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah. See you guys.
Bye-bye.
Good night, Thomas.
Good night.
This is why I like exchanges like Bitrue and Gate, because you can set limit orders up. So I bought into like XLM and a few of the others we've talked about tonight. I set limit orders when it gets to 25% above what I bought, sell it. And I had it happen overnight once where and it was actually I forget which coin it was, but I bought something in the same night. It sold and I made like 20%. So
yeah, that's the nice thing about limit orders. It's just the trade-off is exposure to the exchange. So if the exchange just goes belly up overnight, then you're in trouble. But that's the trade-off you're playing. But hey, if you make 25% overnight, that's a nice thing to wake up to.
Right. All right. So question. So like one of the coins, I don't know if you ever published this one, but you told some of us about persistence, XPRT. That was a nice one. I'm still in it though. So here's my problem. I always stay in too long. I'm still in Pundi X.
Don't mind.
Well, it's staked. So I got to figure out how to unstake it, if I want to get out of it, but it's okay. So my question is, so I got in around $9 and it went quickly, it went up to 15. I'm looking at the chart and it's been down. Now it's actually it's like almost $12 right now. So what should I know? So if I get in at $9, using the model I just mentioned that was successful that one night, I should have gotten out at like $10.50 or something. I should have put like an $11 sell it.
All right, you and I need to have a conversation. And I'm going to stop recording now. So let's have this conversation.
Oh,
but
okay.
This is inside information. Nothing. Deborah and you are high-end members. So I'm going to let you guys have it. So